Okay, I'm going live without a plan, flying by the seat of my pants. So, yeah, if you're watching on YouTube, scrub forward until you see something start happening. Don't know what's going to happen, but until something happens, God, I am a scatterbrain. Hi, Dawn. All right, we got some peeps coming in now, so that's good. Yeah. Hi, Kat. Hey, Kat, I don't know if you checked your Instagram messages yet, but would you please? Hi, Keeks. Hi, Terry Brett. Hi, Joan. Starla. Hi, Sharon. Hey, Galena. Good to see you. Hi, Joyce. So, yeah, you guys, I have zero plan today, really. There's some stuff we can do, but I have been so preoccupied with other stuff. I could have laid awake all night thinking about it. Hi, Laverne. Hi, Missy. So, yeah, we'll just do what we do, and it probably will be a short stream, which won't hurt because I have plenty to do around here before I have people here on Wednesday. Hi, Dee Dee. Um, yeah. So, hi, Christina. So, yeah, a couple days before Christmas. And you'd think I'm having a huge gang. I'm not. I'm having my brother, his wife, their kids. Not that big a deal, you know? But still, it's just a lot to think about. And have I thought of everything? That's the thing that gets me is have I forgotten anything? You know, and this morning I was thinking I probably ought to get the little kids a gift. Hey, bossy butt. Um, so yeah, just I just worry too much, probably is what it is. I probably just worry too much. Sorry I'm late. I didn't want to come. So anyway, yeah, a couple days before Christmas Eve anyway. And then Christmas Day we'll go over to my brother's. So yeah, it ought to be a good week, and I'm actually looking forward to getting everything back to normal. I like normal. Is that crazy that I don't look forward to this? But I don't. So, anyway, let me show you what I've gotten this week. Sharon Lombard is in chat, and I got a Christmas card from Sharon. Mary Engelbright. I love Mary Engelbright. So, thank you, Sharon. I will probably tear the cover off that, and then I could move this. She included some stuff inside. Just little bits and bobs that I can play with, so that's fun. These are stickers, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, on like washi sticker paper. So thank you, Sharon. And some flowers. And I got the most beautiful bouquet of flowers from, well, Robert and I got a beautiful bouquet of flowers. I should have taken a photo of them for Christmas, but I think, well, I shouldn't say that, but I have an infestation of freaking gnats, you guys. Hi, Lisa. And they're driving me crazy. Hi, Kimberly. I'm glad you just came in. So, yeah. So, thank you, Sharon. I love that card, Mary Engelbright card. She says she's looking forward to the scabby hunt. I've got to get that list done. I should make you guys, we should work on that for a few minutes today because I've got like, I think 26 prompts. So I'm about a quarter of the way, which isn't near enough. I will go through the last scavenger hunt pages or prompt lists and include some of them. But if you've got anything, and I will say flat out, Terry Brett is the only one who has sent me some ideas. We could brainstorm for sure. And then I got a package the other day, and I have to say, Kimberly, this just made me flippin' happy. Look at this thing. I'm not sure what to call it. I'm going to call it a pouch. Devin, tell me that when I did put out some apple cider vinegar, and it has caught some of them, but there's still too damn many in here. I opened the fridge. They were in my fridge. But look at this thing. Oh my God, this is crazy. This looks like a flattened pop top, like comes off a bottle. This is adorable, Kimberly. And she has a thing on here that says smart ass, a person who is quick to offer often abrasive opinion or comment from a posture of superior intelligence and learning. Well, all that told me is that I'm a smart ass. Look at that. Oh my gosh. It's so adorable, Kimberly. And I know you have to put a lot of time, effort, and thought in it. So don't think for a minute that I don't appreciate it because it's so flippin' adorable. So it'll stay here in the studio somewhere. I know it is. It's super adorable. You like to encourage? Well, it worked. And then she made me a tag, and the background is like a recipe that she cut out. You can use anything. Joy to the world. Look at how cute this is. Merry Christmas. And then she sent me a fold and score set. I love this clear ruler. And putting a ruler, hi Vale, haven't seen you in a long time. Using a ruler or putting a ruler in your Scabby Hunt will be there because I came up with an awesome idea. Hey, APG Jamie. Well, you're welcome, Kimberly, and thanks for being such a cool, supportive fib, It's just, I don't know. You guys continue to amaze me over and over and over. So thank you. And Kimberly, love you and smooch on your face. She wrote that on the little note that she smooch on your face. Yeah, how is Hubs, Jamie? I want to know. And then Dee Dee told me I had to show a couple of things, and I'm actually embarrassed. These things have been sitting here literally for months, and I haven't done anything with them. I haven't forgotten about them, and I have not put them away, which means they're less likely to get attention. They still sit here all the time. So this is my conspiracy journal. And you guys, I watch and listen on IG to every conspiracy thing that's around. And I've got all these chickens now that I've got to put in there. So chicken butt. Guess what? Chicken butt. I think I'll put that in right now. Transplant is great, but the shoulder has bone cancer, so we start radiation today. Jamie, I'm keeping you both in my prayers. Johnny has been through so much, you guys, literally since I met APG Jamie, I think. Johnny has had one thing. I was just thinking of another Jimmy. Johnny has had one thing after another, honestly. And Jamie, pat yourself on the back because it's hard when you're dealing with medical issues that aren't your own. I mean, my own medical issues, I can handle just fine. But if somebody around me is sick, like my brother, I don't need to be telling his personal business, but I'll just put it out there because he won't care anyway because he has crazy stuff. But he went in for a routine colonoscopy. They went ahead and took out a couple of polyps. That evening, he started bleeding. And he said it was gallons of blood. Now, we all know it wasn't gallons, but you know how a little bit of fluid of any kind, really, but especially blood, can look like gallons? Well, his wife rushed him to the hospital, and it's about a 25-mile drive to the local hospital. And he was in there for a while, and they slowed the bleeding down but couldn't stop it. So they life flighted him 60 miles into Tulsa, and he was there all weekend. No, I think they let him out Saturday morning. But yeah, so like I woke up whatever morning it was to my sister-in-law saying, I took Don to the hospital last night. This is what's going on. And yeah, so, and then I'm upset all weekend, or all the end of last week because And I've told Don and Amber this. I can't live without him. So nothing can happen to him. And I told him, you better tell those doctors to take care of you because I can't live without you. Of all the people in the world that I know, absolutely I cannot live without is Don. So they better fix you. So yeah, other people's health is, yeah, it's harder, I think, when it's someone else and not yourself. So prayers up, APG Jamie. I think prayers have done good so far. So yeah, you go, girl. And Johnny too. Tell him we're all praying and he's in our thoughts and prayers. And yeah. So anyway, I do love my brother. You know, he's the one that I tell you guys not uncommonly that if there was a way I could have killed him when we were young, but it went both ways. If he could have figured out a way to kill me, he would have killed me too. But about high school, well, I had moved out of home and he was still in high school. I don't know what, well, I kind of do know what bonded us. But anyway, we bonded and we have been like bonded ever since, you know, through everything in our lives. The one person who has been a constant has been Don. He helped me with gym. He just, yeah, he's the one constant in my life. And I moved to Oklahoma and it wasn't a year before he was saying, I'm looking for a business to buy down there. We're moving. So, yeah. Hey, Raul. Lymph node with metastasis cancer survivor. The only thing I'm dealing with is chemo-related neuropathy. I knew that, Raul. It does suck so much. Yep, my sister's dealing with it. Yeah. So, yeah, don't ever be afraid to say a prayer. I truly, truly believe in the power of prayer. Anyway, let's go on to the Chicken Conspiracy Chronicles. Oh, crap. I've misplaced my tinfoil hat. Dee Dee did send me a silver hat, a tinfoil hat, and I put Ask Me Anything on the front of it, and it sits right on top of the Zentangle box. And then Joanne Newman sent me all these monkeys, I'm pretty sure. So not every conspiracy is a theory. Hey, Dorothy. Sorry I didn't see you come into Dee Dee's this morning. Instead of conspiracy theorist, I prefer to be called a connect the dots specialist, and I'm quite good at it. Conspiracy theorist, a nonconformist, free thinker, a person capable of pattern recognition. And if you don't see pattern recognition in all that's going on in the world, you'll believe anything. For real. I need new conspiracies. All of my others came true. Conspiracy theory realist, and I did write out theorist, conspiracy realist. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm a things don't add up, and it's pretty obvious theorist. Aliens, Bigfoot, flat Earth. So I wish I had more done in this, but these take a while, you know, because you got to go. Hi, Stacy. You got to go remind yourself of what the conspiracy is, what the pros are, what the cons are. But anyway, the moon landing, I think, will be the longest living conspiracy theory in the world. And there's still so much new on it every day, every day. I don't open up Instagram that I don't see videos. And nowadays it's so hard because AI can create anything. So you don't know if you could trust the videos that you're seeing, whatever. But anyway, it started in 1969. Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin were the first successful mission to land humans on the moon. And that's where we got the famous quote, that's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind. And I think he goofed that up. I don't think that's what he was supposed to say. Thanks, Raul. Cleaning your house today. You just go, girl. I think the moon landing did happen, but they don't want us to know what was found. See, and I don't even think it happened, Jamie. I mean, I've done the pros and the cons. I still don't think it it happened. And I don't think they could make a phone call from the moon. Hi, Ellen. And that they've suddenly lost all the technology and everything they had from the moon landing. Are you kidding me? There should be a museum somewhere with all of it. Company comes tomorrow. Yay. But anyway, I do go through and tell you that there's so many photographic anomalies. There's no stars in the photo, that they're daytime photos. Shadows aren't parallel and in perspective. The photography is cinematic quality, reflection of Neil Armstrong in Aldrin's helmet, and he has no camera. Crosshairs appearing or disappearing. Flags appear to be waving. No wind or gravity. Wrinkles from 4 days traveling. That was their explanation, and that's baloney. All footage accidentally was erased and subsequently restored. Fraudulent rock gifted to the Netherlands. Analysis proved it to be petrified wood. And the Van Allen radiation belts and the solar flares. That probably, to me, is the biggest single reason why we probably did not go to the moon. Not in 1969, anyway. Anyway, the conclusion was that 5 to 6% of Americans believe it was fake. 61% strongly believe. So I'm definitely an anomaly here. I must fall into the 34% that either won't commit or thinks, how the hell would I know? Could it be that it was real, but the footage is fake? There's APG Jamie. And then I don't know why I have an asterisk here. Flags planted remain 30 part. Oh, yeah, that's one of the pros, is that Russia, China, and Japan have confirmed that the flag is there. I don't know. And then Bigfoot, this is another one that's lasted forever. And I guess I still don't know, but I think the sheer number of sightings, people who are willing to put their neck out and say, yeah, this is real. This monkey is so goofy. I know I made copies of him. I use him all the time. I love him. But anyway, there's video evidence, there's audio recordings. But then obviously no remains have ever been found that have been proven. I love Bigfoot lore too. The evidence for Sasquatch is there if you look, but there's institutional resistance to acknowledge it. The idea challenges too many established narratives that he was a wildlife biologist. So why is evidence dismissed, hidden, seized, and withheld? Economic land use restrictions impacting logging, mining, real estate, hunting, tourism, costing billions of dollars. They don't tell us to prevent panic, national security concerns. So the sheer number, this is my conclusion, the sheer number of sightings is very compelling. They can't all be kooks, can they? And then Dee Dee sent me the coolest Bigfoot wind chime, but I didn't put it outside because it's too cool to get trashed out. So I hung it in my breezeway. I should take a picture of it. But yeah, I've got a very cool Bigfoot wind chime in my life. Let's see. Oh, this is a tip out. I need to move that. If the earth, I saw this thing and I just thought it was too perfect. So I went ahead and made a little poster for the book that if the earth was flat, cats would have pushed everything off by now. And I don't believe for a second in the flat earth concept, but I did watch a lot of videos on this, and there are a lot of people out there who believe that the earth truly is flat. And I think there's just so much evidence. And here's the synopsis of all of it. The idea of a spherical earth began in the 3rd century BC. A fringe society founded in the 1950s emerged with the belief that the earth is a flat disk, with the Arctic Circle being in the center and the land masses splayed out around it. Antarctica, a frozen wall all around the edge. Some believe it's an infinite sheet of ice. Surveys suggest that a small but not insignificant portion of the population believes the earth is flat. Polls in the U.S. show 10 to 11%. You have a son that believes in flat earth. Oh my God, I could spend a whole week talking to him, APG Jamie. But I'd have to study before I met him. Flat earth is a nope. Yep. More common among millennials. One expert attributes this to a distrust in experts in mainstream media. And this investigator is Clara Cluck. It's fun checking into it and just, I don't know, going and listening to all the different people, their points of view, where they get their information, why they believe it. And if you've never ever watched the Why Files on YouTube, you need to go subscribe, because one thing I like about him, and I can't think of his name right now, Dee Dee will know it, is he tries not to sway your thinking one way or another. He just gives you information, and then he does kind of indicate toward the end of some of his videos how he feels about it. But yeah, the why AJ, yeah, and then he has a little fish in a fish bowl called Hecklefish. He does seem unbiased, and he did if you haven't seen his interview with Joe Rogan, that is another really good interview to go watch. And they talk about stuff. It's just like, I don't know, you feel like an insider. But anyway, here in the States, Area 51 and Roswell, New Mexico has been talked about and in the news forever. Roswell is a town in New Mexico where the U.S. Army claimed to have recovered a crash UFO. They retracted the story within hours, saying it was a weather balloon. The Army scoured and removed the debris from a farmer's field, reportedly. 4 alien bodies were also discovered, described as little people. The crash material has been described as rubbery metal. It's believed that the craft recovered is maintained at Area 51. Now, Area 51 is another area in Utah where they say, yeah, it was a really good interview. It's a military facility in Utah where they say a lot of this stuff is stored and looked into. I don't know if that's true or not. Hi, CB. But 65% of Americans believe that intelligent life exists on other planets. 86.9% of scientists believe basic extraterrestrial life exists. And I just feel like the sheer number of reported sightings is compelling. Whistleblower testaments, and there's a new whistleblower out there on the internets right now talking about it. And he seems to think that they are going to release a bunch of information soon. So this one, I'm going to have to get a big stamp made and put confirmed on there. But anyway, when the U.S. government did a big study, and it's called the Project Blue Book, where they're denying recovery of any crafts or aliens, no communications have been intercepted. First of all, I don't believe anything the government tells me. Okay? They could tell me the sky is blue, and I would have to go outside and check. I don't trust anything they tell me. And I understand why they have to keep some things secret, because you don't want panic. But I think they could be a little bit more honest about some things. That's just me. But anyway, my conclusion was that it doesn't seem out of the realm of possibility. Why not embrace the little green peeps? You know, they may be really nice people. And of all the things is that, and then you would see chemtrails, exactly. And then I'd have to do a whole nother page about that. But that's so funny. But I don't know. I really don't think it's out of the realm of possibility. And I think that just the sheer number of sightings and the number of people willing to talk about it, I don't think most people will go out on a limb, except maybe with a few close family or friends, where they're going to put themselves out there to ridicule. And so the willingness to talk about it is very compelling to me. And so many pilots talk about it. So I think there's an Earth-type government, on the down low, so folks won't freak out. Well, I'm sure of that, APG Jamie. I mean, it's so comfortable just to live in your life and not have to worry about, are the little green men coming and what do they bring in? And there you go, Jamie. That's what you're not going to limit what God has made. And I have to agree with you there. I think there's so many things that we don't even begin to understand or recognize, and that God performs miracles, multiple miracles every day. And if you've ever experienced one, there's no doubt you'll believe. Okay, Raul's saying in Barcelona they have tons of UFO sightings. See, I think it's true all over the world, Raul. It's not just a US thing. Absolutely. Anyway, the mysterious deaths are not, this is, anytime anybody dies, I mean, even with Rob Reiner being stabbed by his son this week, which is just horrific. I mean, I can't even imagine. But one thing I will say, and I'm kind of getting on the edge of political here, and I don't like to do that, but I think this country has a serious problem with mental illness, and that we are not dealing with it at all. We just act like it doesn't exist. You don't kill somebody. I don't care who you are. And I'm not saying Rob Reiner's son, but anybody, just in general. You don't kill somebody and have a sound mind. I'm sorry, you just don't. People don't kill people. So, yeah. Anyway, yeah, it doesn't mean they're all for your good. Yeah. Disguising themselves as ghosts. Now, that's an interesting idea, Raul. Um, but anyway, I just picked a few of the really famous people, John F. Kennedy, and they just released the papers on that. And again, I don't trust the government, so what they released to me is probably not trustworthy. So, if you know what was going on historically at the time, there's reason to believe that there's something behind his assassination that we don't know. Elvis Presley, I truly believe that that he just died from poor health because he was doing drugs and so many things. But the rumors that he faked his own death to escape notoriety and eyewitness sightings fuel the conspiracies. I don't believe Elvis is alive. I don't believe it. Martin Luther King, again, he was assassinated, and the authorities determined James Earl Ray was the assassin. And a lot of people believe the government was involved. It's another one of those things we'll never know, but we'll talk about it forever. Jeffrey Epstein, same thing. I don't know how you can hang yourself in a cell where you're supposed to be supposedly being guarded 24/7. And if you look at the pictures, the stack of sheets and stuff that was in his room, there's something hokey going on there. I just believe that. Hey, Tina. Michael Jackson. I just saw a thing this weekend about Michael Jackson again. I think it was an accidental overdose. I'm going to die believing that. Marilyn Monroe, again, she was rumored to have had relationships with very powerful people in our government and probably knew too much. But she was, again, I think she just was a drug overdose. I think you get in those positions and drugs are scary. And in this day and age, they're especially scary with the rise of fentanyl. Innocent people thinking they're just experimenting with, some drug that's not harmful, and then they get a little bit of fentanyl, and bam, that's it. And I think we need to do something about it. And thank God we are. Natalie Wood was a really interesting one because, yeah, her and her husband on a boat. She didn't like water. And if you ever listen to the interview of, I can't remember his name, but apparently they were viciously fighting that night, and she ends up dead. And she was scared to death of dark water. She would not have gone swimming or gotten in the little raft or anything. She wouldn't have done it. So I don't know. I think that's another really weird thing. And she might have been murdered. Paul McCartney is not dead. That's so funny. And then Diana Spencer, I think she's another one. I think sometimes fame is a double-edged sword, and I think she just I don't think the royal family or the government had anything to do with her death. I don't even necessarily think it was the paparazzi. I think her driver um, maybe had been drinking and was trying to avoid the paparazzi, and a horrible thing happened. Um, so yeah, and I could do probably 5 more pages of mysterious deaths. But this page I think is fun because they all got little headstones and they're all peeking out. True. Okay, Kat is saying Natalie Wood was murdered and he got away with it. I tend to lean that way myself, Kat. And I don't know that it was intentional murder. I don't necessarily think he wanted her dead, but I think it was an accidental death and would have been ruled a murder, but yeah, didn't. Antarctica is a really weird one. Not just because of the flat earth people who believe that Antarctica is the ice that surrounds the flat earth. But there's a lot of stuff going on. I'll just read this because a lot of people don't know about all that goes on down there, and I've called it the last frontier. Because of Antarctica's remote location, harsh weather, and our general mistrust of our agencies, conspiracy theories surrounding Antarctica have persisted since the 1930s. UFOs. In 1946, U.S. naval fleet abandoned a 6-month excursion after just 6 weeks. Eyewitnesses reported aggressive disc-shaped craft chased them out. In 1985, an emergency medical evacuation crew flew over a no-fly zone. They reported seeing a very large crater with a hole in the ice. The crew was debriefed not by the military, but by the men in suits. In the 1990s, naval flight crews reported seeing silver discs zipping over the mountain peaks at impossible speeds. Crews were instructed to never speak of it. Scientists from the National Science Foundation failed to do radio checks. Rescue team went to check, and the scientists were missing. That was a real weird story. A search turned up no trace. Over a week later, the camp received an urgent call from the missing scientists, requesting removal as soon as possible. Upon rescue, they were in shock and wouldn't speak of their disappearance. That's scary. Other conspiracies include Nazi bases, secret experiments, secret advanced civilization, and alien bases hidden under the ice in caverns, created and heated by volcanic activity and geothermal vents. I've heard that forever. Pyramids observable on the surface protruding from the ice. And they say that those pyramids may go down thousands of feet. So, and then the lost city of Atlantis, that Earth's crust moved it. So who knows? But they say there are many openings in the ice down there. Yeah, I agree, Vale. Yeah, that just like a structure of unknown material. A Navy SEAL reported warm to the touch, not metal, not stone, and it had a door. Cosmic rays emanating from 2 miles under the ice. And my conclusion was there are witnesses and whistleblowers who have been seen things and felt things that should not exist in Antarctica, yet they do, and we're not supposed to know about it. So I don't know. I think there's a lot of questions about Antarctica, what they do down there, how much of it's real, how much of it's not. So, and then the next one I'm doing is Mars, and I've done most of the research and gotten some art on it. And I just need to look. All I need to do is write it up. I just haven't yet. So, and then the list, I do have a list. Look at this list of conspiracy theories that I've got. It's not like I'm ever going to run out, at least probably not in my lifetime. Yeah. And that, like the one that Hitler escaped Germany and all that, it's just like, I don't know. There's so much that we don't know. So yeah, there's my chickens for the chicken conspiracy theory. So that is fun. And I will get back to it in the new year. I will. But I'm like ADHD because when I get a new shiny object, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I got to go do that now. And you'll see when you get this, when I do show you the swatch book, it's just like, okay, here's my new shiny object. That's it. Thanks, Terry. Yeah, see, I don't necessarily believe them all either. And honestly, I want a nice, easy life, to be honest. So delving into some of this stuff makes you a little bit uneasy, makes me a little bit uneasy, you know, like I'll tell you one thing about UFOs that convinced me, and I've told this story before, but I think about it often when I think of UFOs. We were still living in Boulder up in Colorado, and they used to do they might still, a fireworks show on 4th of July at the football stadium where the Colorado Buffaloes play. And it's a big place, you know, it's huge. Anyway, it was over, and there was a whole group of us, I think like 12 of us, all walking to the car. And I was walking alongside, the guy's name was John Belt, and he was Jamie's boss at the time. And we were just chatting about whatever, probably Jamie, but anyway, in just an instant, from the right-hand side of the sky to the left-hand side of the sky was something with lights that moved so fast that all you could do was watch it. We couldn't talk, and it was probably no more than 2 or 3 seconds, literally from one horizon to the other horizon across the night sky. And I don't know who said it first, John or I, said, "Did you see that?" I said, "Yeah." "What was it?" And to this day, we talked about it for years. John's since passed away, but we talked about it for years. What was that? What did we see? It wasn't an airplane. It wasn't anything. It was something that moved so fast you could watch it with your eyes while you're turning your head, just going, "What the hell? What the hell?" And I believe it was something that we don't have on this earth. So whatever it was, yeah. All right. This is the Passport Journal. And what started this was Terry Brett sent me a pack of passport sticker. Oh, it's not here. Like this. And there were, I think, 50 of them in there. And so I wanted to do something with them. So I came up with this idea of a passport journal, just a travel journal. And the opening pages are just travel related stickers and stuff that I've collected. Your cousin, you saw a large orange light in the sky driving late up in the Appalachian Mountains. See? Hi, so much glitter. Bye, so much glitter. Be safe out driving to the airport. If you see one now, people are less likely to think you're crazy, right? So anyway, each of the locations was determined by the passport sticker in the packet of passport stickers that Terry had sent. So this was the first one, and I did Jamaica because that was the location. And my favorite thing about this whole layout, and I do go and research the country and look at, you know, what their famous sites are and what they're known for. And I try and include like their state bird or their country bird, animal, flower, whatever. So for Jamaica, Dr. Bird, which is also known as a swallowtail hummingbird or streamer-tail hummingbird, is their national bird. They have a national drink called Jamaica Me Crazy. And I had fun drawing these. All the artwork, they're not stickers. The artwork right here. Now, I did finally start making some photocopies, but my original intent was that all of the artwork would be something I created, and that got very intense. So, oh my gosh, Tina, well, you've been out there seeing all of them. So, yeah, but my favorite thing on this is Jamaica Me Crazy. And then their flower is the Ligrum vitae, also known as, I can't pronounce it. And then a lot of people go to Jamaica to have weddings on the beach. So I did this little thing of where you might go to have a wedding on the beach. And there's a Monkey Island in Jamaica, also known as Pelu Island off the coast of Portland Parish. Monkeys once lived on the island. No monkeys reside there now. Home away from home. Because I live on Monkey Island. And there's not monkeys. Well, some people act like monkeys, but there's no real monkeys here. The next one was Guatemala. And so I drew their textiles. They have a volcano, an active volcano near Antigua, which is part of the Sierra Madre range. So when I was doing this, I was actually learning a lot. And I drew the flower, the orchid, the white nun. This is a famous arch. And obviously it's in Central America. And their bird is the resplendent Quetzal. That's what I'm going to say. But it's fun trying to draw the stuff, and yeah. And then I started collecting stickers and stuff that I started adding. Canada, and I love Canada. I spent a ton of time there as a kid. My dad liked to go to Canada to go fishing in the summer. So we spent entire summers up there, 3 months of the year up in Canada. And so I just took the map and put little red pins of everywhere I've been. I've been all over Western Canada, never been in Eastern Canada. I would like to go to Eastern Canada. From what I understand, it's vastly different than Western Canada. Western Canada, you wouldn't know if you were in Canada or the States, except that their grocery products are different. Like, yeah. But yeah, you'd never know. They obviously speak English, everything you don't know, you're out of your country. So this is Canada. Gray jay is their national bird. And this is the first one where, other than drawing the Hudson Bay blanket border, yeah, I didn't draw too much here because I wanted the whole map of Canada. It's, it is vast. Canada is so vast. The majority of it is unpopulated. All this up here, all this. Now I've flown up into here, well, up into Saskatchewan, and we went in the Northwest Territories. But yeah, all this up here is just water and forest. It's not even populated, but it's a vast, huge, enormous country. And then their beaver is the national animal. And this one's India. I would say, other than knowing that the Taj Mahal was there, I knew almost nothing about India. Dee Dee made me do the henna hand, which I'm really glad she made me do that because I think it's very cool. So this is, in fact, my hand. Prettier than my hand, but it is truly an outline of my hand. I like the monkey. I love the monkey face on this one. And some of the art, I have to say, I did pretty good on. Some I didn't, but, like I like the peacock, peafowl. Their national flower is the lotus flower. And then, obviously, the most famous landmark almost anywhere is the Taj Mahal. I would love to be able to go there someday. But yeah, the henna hand, and then what did I put on the back? Oh, just some stickers. But when you go to do the research, you actually do learn a lot. And then with India, I don't know what made me think of the washi tape that I had with the elephants on it. And I thought, oh man, I could use my washi tape in this. So I started using washi tape about that time. And then I had ordered some travel. Oh, thanks, Terry. I ordered some travel ephemera because things were just taking too long. But I still keep trying to do at least the flower, the bird. And this is France. Eiffel Tower. Paris. Yeah. Never been there. I think there was a time I would have said I would like to go there, but I don't know. Europe is a scary place these days. You can always ask me about Indian. I'm 1/3 Indian roots from Uttar Pradesh. Really? You have a photo of your parents in front of the Taj Mahal. That would be cool. Ellen's been there. So yeah, it's I don't know. It probably is on everybody's bucket list, honestly. But I like the bird, the chicken. He's the conspiracy chicken from the other book that we just looked at. Mexico, I've been a lot in Mexico as well. I learned a lot of things about Mexico I didn't know. I've always been right along the border towns, especially down the ones that abut Texas, but I've been also over in here too. Their bird is the crested caracara. I think caracara. And then the flower is the dahlia. Yeah. Mexico is a funny place, really, especially the border towns. I don't think you get a real feel for Mexico in the border towns. They just want your American money, but all of them unbelievably nice people. The thing I probably like best about going into the border town, especially, we would go into Progreso Nuevo, and there was a little guy there. He was about 8 years old, and I don't know why he wasn't in school, but he would sing ay 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 for money, and who knows, he might have been supporting his whole family, but he wasn't in school. He was out singing for the tourists. And one thing my dad told me about walking over the bridge into Mexico is don't drink the margaritas. Do not drink street margaritas. Well, one day I have a Canadian friend. Her name is Joyce, but I called her CW, Canadian wench. We went over and started drinking. We started at the very first stop and started drinking the street margaritas. And we were toast. We were toast. Oh my God. Now I know why my dad said, don't drink the street margaritas. Okay, maybe he was in night school. I don't know. But that little guy wasn't in school. He was out singing. Of course, if you have an 8-year-old singing ay, 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 ay for you, you got to give him a buck, Like, he probably was making for them good money, because I don't know an American who did not give that kid some money. And then I drew the Mexican blanket. I still, to this day, have my Mexican blanket. This was Japan. It's right there. I'm looking for the, where is the immigration? Oh, right there. I'm going to say every page has the passport stamp. This one I probably didn't do as much because I had so much Japanese ephemera. I did draw the cherry blossoms, and I think I did pretty good on them. And of course, Devin just went to Japan. The grade school kids used to beg your groceries. Huh. Anyway, the green pheasant is their bird. Of course, koi fish, famous for koi fish. And their flower, of course, is cherry blossom. So known as Land of the Rising Sun. And then, I don't know when, at what point, some point, maybe early on. No, because I don't have one on here. But I started as much as I could incorporating the flag and a map of the country, because I found myself forever getting out the atlas or Googling up, a map of the countries so I could kind of see the layout and how far distances were. And it's funny because in the United States, I think our distance measurements are so goofed up because we're also a very big country. So for me to get in my car and drive to Denver is about a 12-hour drive, but I don't think anything about doing it. Where in Europe, you do a 12-hour drive and you've gone through 4 countries or more. So, yeah, size is a funny thing. And I think Japan is very indicative of that. You probably could go from one end to the other in less time than it would take me to get to Denver. Morocco, I love the washi tape that I chose for Morocco. I just love this layout. Of all the layouts, this may be my favorite, where I've drawn on this side and added the map. I love the lion, the bird, the flower. I love this layout. Oh, thanks, Joan. And this is a mosque that's in Morocco. I do, however, love Moroccan food. We had a Moroccan restaurant in Denver, and you sat on the floor and ate with your hands. And I have to say, that was some of the most delicious food I think I've ever eaten. I would love to go back there. I don't even know if it's still there. Japan has a bullet train. Yeah. Yeah, you'd think we could have one here, right? Brazil, a lot of the South American countries, I think, are kind of an enigma because they're very advanced, like and like with Japan having a bullet train, I think you think of the South America countries as kind of backwards or whatever. They don't have the industry that we do, and they're all very advanced, I think, from my research. But their jaguar is the animal. I don't know that anaconda was anything, but I wanted to draw the anaconda snake. Bird, toucan, and I don't know, I guess I didn't do the flower. If it was a duplicate flower from another country, I didn't draw it. So, yeah. But I would love to go see Christ the Redeemer. Malaysia I think is amazing. Now this is one place I would love to see. Their cities are so advanced. The jaguar drawing, I did pretty good on him. He's not bad. Not bad at all. Yeah, I think I'd just love to go to Malaysia. And they're, of course, famous for textiles and the Batu Caves. I don't know what their flower animal is. I guess I just didn't even look, but whatever. But just looking at the scenery and stuff, it looks like such a gorgeous place to go visit. Your stepsister works on the Florida train that goes 125 miles. It runs from Orlando to Miami. Boy, I would have liked to have that when I was down there, Tina. I thought I'd never get to Key West. This is Germany. And that's their flag colors. Their country flower is the cornflower. But before I had done any research on Germany, I thought this flower would be Edelweiss. So I wanted to draw Edelweiss too. And it makes me think of the song, so why not? And their bird is the black eagle. And yeah, that's all I drew on that one. But I did get a lot of ephemera of a lot of these countries, and they have amazing castles there. So, and my grandmother was half German, so I'm quarter German. No, mother would be quarter. I'm 1/8 German. I had a German sister-in-law, and I had a German girl that worked for me. And I have to say, I love their curtness. They're pretty straightforward people, and I like that. They call it the murder train. Oh, boy. Thanks, Ellen. This is Iran. What I learned as Persia. We had neighbors when I was young, a family that had emigrated to the United States from Persia. And they were Persian to me. So that's why I said Iran and Persia. And I wish it would return to Persia and the Persian people, but whatever. Yeah, we've had our fair share of problems. And this one, I just cut out the tree and the flower. Yeah. And then they have, of course, famous mosques. And I don't think of Iran as having, you know, mountains with snow on them, but apparently. You're also 1/3 German, Caucasian, huh? Well, you're an interesting guy. But yeah, what I think of when I think of Persia or Iran was the Persian rugs. They do beautiful, beautiful Persian rugs. Hi, Junk Journal Joanne. Austria's national flower. Austria's is Edelweiss. Okay. And then this is Taiwan. A lot of the Asian countries were kind of unknown to me. Their bear animal was the Formosa black bear, so I drew the little black bear and the Mikado pheasant, and their flower was the plum blossom. So those I drew, and the rest, you know, I try and include this country's flag and maybe events and stuff that they have. I should have written down what city that was, but I just try and get interesting architecture or textiles or whatever that are indicative, or how I end up feeling about the country after I've done the research on it. This was Costa Rica. Um, One of my very favorite animals. Their national animal is a sloth, and I love sloths. I wish I could have a sloth, but from what I understand, they're kind of dirty. But who cares? Clay colored thrush and the Guaria morata. But I think of coffee when I think of Costa Rica. But I do love my sloth. I think I did good on the sloth. And he's upside down like he should be. And I love the videos that people have of sloths, you know, like when a baby gets separated. And yeah. This is Spain. Raul could tell us all about Spain. Would love to go to Spain. I think it's an interesting country. Lots of history, good art. And there's the sticker from the passport. Um, oh, tile. The reason I added this was they're also known for the ceramic tiles that they manufacture, I guess. But yeah, there's Spain. And let's see. There's Raul sitting out there on the ocean, Barcelona. There he is, right there. That's so weird to think of, that Raul's sitting over here in Barcelona and we're sitting over here in the United States and we're talking just like we're in the next room. You've lived there more than a decade and you haven't seen all of it. Well, you travel all the time, Raul. So, and then I think as an American, the thing we think of mostly when we think of Spain is bullfighting. And I heard the other day that it was going to be outlawed. Is that true? Are they outlawing bullfighting? What are they going to do with all their swords? Costa Brava. Costa Brava. So yeah, that's all. And then the list of countries is right here. These are all the things that I've got left to do. So it's not like I'm running out of stuff that I need to do. And there are countries that I don't know about, like Turkey. I know virtually nothing about Turkey. Nothing. Italy, I do. Spaghetti. Lebanon, again, I know nothing about it. Saudi Arabia, and some of them I'm just not even interested in. And I think that is a result of what our media reports and portrays those countries as. Yeah, some of them I just have literally no interest. At one time, I just noticed Belize is one of the countries on there. There was a time that Jim talked about becoming expats and just moving to Belize. And I was like, we can't leave the country. Now I'm wondering if we shouldn't have done it back when we could. I have not done a thing. in the Beast for December Daily because I got sidetracked. So here's December Daily up until, oh, I did add the pretzel thins, my snack. Now this is a new favorite snack. I got them at Sam's Club. They're flattened pretzels and they pour dark chocolate on it and then this ooey, I don't know, it's probably light chocolate, I don't know. But these things are flippin' delicious. And if you see them at Sam's Club, get 3 bags. I did. So I stopped at Make Bookmarks and I thought, well, today I could make bookmarks. So I did get out some stuff, but yeah, I haven't done it yet. Wishing you nothing but a Merry Christmas. That's from Sharon Lombard too. So I haven't done anything in that. And I may or I may not catch up after Christmas because what got into me when I had a few spare minutes here and there this last week, I started the Flow Swatch book. You should never get me started on something like this, Dee Dee, because poor Robert goes hungry because I get so obsessive. And you can see I do get a little bit obsessive, and I don't. Lori Mary Jenkins moved to Costa Rica. I suppose there are worse places to be, you know. But anyway, now I'm obsessive about. I'll move this stuff out. I always have to move something out. I shove everything in journals. But I did go ahead and cut, I think I showed you guys, I cut the journal up, or cut the book up, and put these ring binders in there, and I'm already ready for larger rings. But yeah, here we are, and were just my, these are my notes of all the products that I have to include. And what I finally ended up doing was deciding, like a lot of these are just pens. So the first section I started was writing implements. So I could do my pens first, because that's almost all of these. Because when you write them down, it's just like, oh, I can't write this stuff down because there's too much of it. I have too much stuff. And I will agree, I have too much stuff. But I did write down a bunch of the products that I want to do. And I'm going to break it up into like writing instruments, water soluble, acrylic. So yeah. More than one pen. Oh my God, don't even start. So yeah, so I'm gonna do water soluble, and then I'll do inks, acrylic, pastels, because I have a little bit of everything, and I'm gonna probably use more than one section for some items. So I started out with the pens because they were kind of manageable, I thought. And I showed you guys that I had bought the swatch stamps, and I'm not sure how usable they're going to be honest. Robert goes hungry. He does go hungry. So I thought, ballpoint pens, how much fun are ballpoint pens? So for the ballpoint pens and the gel pens, and this is going to be the writing implement section of the book, I had a stamp in my bullet journaling, a rubber stamp of these squares. And I thought, how much space do I need for ballpoint pens? Because, yeah, they take up the whole book. My favorite white pen, well, it's a new one. My favorite white pen of all time is now, starting whenever at my birthday, whenever Tina sent me these, is the Panda Fly white gel pens. This thing has been awesome. But if you can't get them or whatever, Jelly Roll isn't horrible, and Artistro is another one. Well, this one, Baoki, I don't know. This was kind of my favorite until I got the Panda Fly. The thing I didn't like about this was the ultra fat nib. But they're definitely improving white pens. But this Panda Fly, you can, Tina sent me a pack of the white, the silver, and the gold. And I love all of them. I love them all so much. So this is my new favorite white, Panda Fly. And it is kind of a fat body, but its nib is 0.05 and it hasn't dried up. So yeah, look at Cat and Paste or Cheshire Cat getting on that. So this was all my ballpoint pens, and I'm sure that's not all of them. So I have some room to expand. And then this was the Langwell. I guess that's how I'm going to pronounce it. And then the Panda Fly is here at the bottom. Because that's like a set of 170. So I was able to get them all on there. And I won't use these for actually using the pens because I have this other swatch card that when I want to choose a color, I pull this out. And the cool thing about these, and I've shown you guys, is you can put them on full strength and they're very opaque and intense, vibrant color. But you can also watercolor out with them. You can see I've done it so they kind of fade out to what the watercolor, because I think that's probably my favorite technique with those pens. I like using them and writing in them in the Beast, but the watercoloring with them, oh, so awesome. Taking a break from cleaning to rest my right arm and hand. Oh, you really been scrubbing, bossy. And then I started in on fine line markers. You guys, I have an illness. I'm a penaholic. I need to go to PA, Pens Anonymous. But one thing, after using these like this, some of them I found that I just love, and some of them I think, why I would never buy those again. And I should have probably because I was like down into it before I realized I should have written down which ones are awesome and which ones suck so bad. But anyway, there's Statler, the Tri-Plus. I used to love them, but they're a real fine nib. I'll just yank one out here real quick. Real fine nib. I mean, needlepoint nib. And I like needlepoint for writing, but for doing anything else, coloring or anything like that, absolutely useless. Les Pen, y'all have seen those. I love Les Pen to write with. Pen and Gear, you can get that at Walmart. And they have nice nibs. They're a little bit fatter than the needlepoint, but there's certainly nothing wrong with them. Sharpie pen, I love Sharpie pen. Creative Memories, these were old. I don't even know if you can get Creative Memories anymore, but they were good fine line markers. Papermate, you can still get Papermate in lots of different sets. They are probably one of my favorite product ever, Papermate pens. And you can get them now. I don't know if I didn't show these when I bought them, but you can get the Papermate now with the writing nib on one end and a cool brush nib on the other. These are fairly new. I had not seen these. And then when I saw them, I was like, I'm buying them. But they don't have the range of colors that they have in the writing nib. And I don't know if you still can, but it used to be you could buy Papermate individually, but I don't know if you can anymore. Prismacolor pens. I don't know if you guys even knew that they made Prismacolor pens, but Prismacolor. And they're a 0.005 nib. I mean, they are needlepoint. Crayola, I'm going to tell you guys right now, and I'll show you why in a minute. If you're thinking about buying something to try it, and you're not sure the quality, I'm going to tell you, go with Crayola. Every time. And I got the Crayola signatures. Where are they? That's not them. They're in the same bin though. Here they are. This is the Crayola signature And you can probably, I know you can get them on Amazon. And Kat, you don't have to go get the links to this stuff. But the Crayola Signature has colors on both ends. Fine nib, brush nib. They're okay, but I would say buy the Super Tips. You won't be disappointed. Pentel Color. I think those are very old too. I have a set of Unknown. Probably one of those things. I know, Dee Dee. We're gonna have to break her fingers or something. I don't know, because she is a ninja link getter. Diverse Bee. These I love, and I use them to write in my Bible. And you can buy them in different sets. I've only got the winter set, but these are really nice pens. I have to say, I'm not the least bit unhappy. But when you order them, like, look at this weird set of colors. It's not like all the others where you get yellow, orange, red, pink, green, purple. These you order by set, and I ordered the winter set, and I have to say, I'm not unhappy. But yeah, you just get weird colors. But I'm not unhappy with them. The Staedtler Mars Graphic, Marvy Le Plume, and that is a really old set. Any of the Marvy pens are always good. But again, if you want expensive pens, get the Tombow. Tombow works consistently. And I got into a lot of these different sets, and I found out that the dyes or whatever had changed the color of the ink. Some of the pens maybe had dried up, and I threw away, oh my God, I threw away so much pens. But if you want a nice set, and I think Tina, if she didn't take off, Tombow, you're going to pay more, but I have to say, Tombow pens work amazing. Hi, Brooke. And they last forever. I'm not kidding you. Tombow is a great product. This is an off-brand that is real fine tip. I wouldn't recommend them. So, all right. I have owned, I don't know when I got these Ohuhu dual tip markers. Their packaging is awesome, but I'm going to tell you guys, I'm really disappointed in them. These were the ones where the dye in the ink was somehow bastardized, and they weren't even remotely close. Like down in here where there's almost no color. The color of the lid says it should be something between this, and there's just nothing there. So I would not spend my money on the Ohuhu dual tip again. And the Mogian, I think is what it's called. They were okay. But honestly, if I was going to spend the money again, I would buy a bigger set of Tombow or just go with the Super Tip. And this is iBam, and that's an old set too. But they still write, so there you go. And this is a master's. These are all brush pens now. And I was going back and forth, where do I put them? See, there's one that just kind of gave out on me right there. So I ended up putting the brush pens in with the writing instruments because, yeah, you write with them. And then this morning at Dee Dee's, I finished the Super Tip. And this is when I just decided, if you're going to spend money on markers, doesn't mean if it's to write with, to do brush lettering, to color in a color book, it does not matter what you're doing. Super Tips are consistently good. The ink color never changes. I've had a few go dry, and it's probably because I left the cap off. But I would say, for as inexpensive as they are, Crayola Super Tips may be the best product on the market for anything. I'm not kidding you. This is the 100 set of Super Tips right to there. These down here are the pastels, which I love the pastels. But the super tips are just the best. So while you guys are here, I'm going to quickly go ahead and add this to the book since I don't have anything better to do anyway. And I did have to add a couple extra pages in this section, because then the next section I get into, I've used up all of January now. Come on. Yeah, I've used up all of January. So I had to add a couple pages, which is fine. All right, so this is going to go in the book this way, correct? Yes. So let me do my quick layout here. And this is how I end up doing it. I ended up drawing a sheet of the boxes. This is a blank of what I swatch on, and this is the washi sticker paper. And I have to say, I still love that stuff. It's just awesome. So there, that's my take on markers. And then I was going to ask you guys something, but I already decided what I'm going to do. That I finally just decided to go ahead and put the brush markers in with the writing instruments. And I think, I'm not sure, Dee Dee, is there a set of 150? Did you print out the squares? I did. Dee Dee, y'all are going to think I'm crazy, but that's okay because you already do. So it, like, this is nothing new. I made a sheet of boxes, and I kept them the same size as the rubber stamps that I bought. They're the same size as these. But I kind of like the space between them like these. But I couldn't sit and stamp that out 500 gazillion times. And I thought, well, this is making me crazy. So I just drew the sheet. And if anybody wants a copy of it, I'll be happy to share it. But yeah, I have a master sheet, and it's 8.5 by 11 inch. Okay, let me show you. I've cut these in half, but the way I laid it out is it's an 8.5 by 11 inch sheet of paper that I've cut in half. And when it comes out of the printer, it looks just like this. I printed the washi sticker. You drew it by hand? Yeah, Devin, I did. I'm sorry. But keep in mind, Devin, this is what I did for a living. So for me to sit down and draw a sheet of boxes was no big deal to me, because that's what I did for a living when I started out. Oh, and in my super tips, I'm missing pen number 49. Now, I numbered mine. Y'all don't have numbers on yours, but I numbered mine. But I have to find pen number 49. It has gone missing somewhere. But yeah, I sat and draw that. It took me, I don't know, hour and a half, something like that. After you get your measurements down, it's not that big a deal. Just pick a good pen to draw with. Now, these bigger sheets are a little bit harder to handle. But with the washi, they're easy to reposition. So, see, might be a little bit crooked, but no big deal. And I'm not using as heavy a paper for my added sheets. I almost ordered some 28-pound stock, but I thought, oh, now you're really going crazy. So I just used 24-pound. Yours aren't numbered. Well, you have to come up with your own system, Dee Dee. Yeah, I got that one real crooked. Oh, well. So that when the book's open, your biggest margin is always going to be in the middle. Ours aren't numbered. How do we know what color to help you find? Well, you could use this swatch where I assigned their numbers and then wrote them on their barrel with it on a sticker, because it's hard to know what color, you know, like the caps aren't truly indicative of the color that you're getting. They're close, but they're not, yeah, they're not great. So well, what color is your missing one? Well, it's going to be blue or kind of an aqua color. I'll find it here. Number 49, I'll show you. It's a light aqua color. Moving more toward the green. So, yeah, I know which ones, I mean, I can look up which one's missing because I have a good system, Dee Dee. And they just stay right here next to the pens. Oop. All right. So then what I do is I write at the top what the product is. But honestly, after doing all this and touching literally almost every pen I am, oh, and I just goofed up. Okay, and when you goof up, because you guys know me, I always have to have a fix for everything because I goof up a lot. Hang on, I've got it right here. I was getting ready to misspell Crayola. That's why I have to do this by myself. I can't do this on stream. There you go. That's how you fix that. Now I'm going to pay attention so I spell it right. All right, I'm going to get one out to make sure. Did anybody answer me if they make 150 set of super tips? I have 100 set. But something in my mind kept telling me that they had a bigger set. I don't know that you need a bigger set. Because I think Crayola has, I think, the best selection. Which is good because they're also very affordable. And then all the headings, I've done the same way. Anyway, I hope I find that missing pen. But the crazy thing is, I've had so many different sets of the Crayola Super Tip through the years that a bunch of them, you know, I've gone through and throw pens away, either as I've crushed the tips or they've dried out or whatever. Chances are I have the blue that I'm looking for. I just got to go find it wherever I put it. And then also on here, I have the pen build behind me. I think you guys have seen it. Has everybody here seen the pen build? I copied it off of Dee Dee's. If you haven't seen it, well, I was going to say I'll take a picture, but there's stuff in front of it right now, so. And then also on here, I write where the item is located. So the Languau and the Super Tips are on my table build. The build behind me is the pen build. $24.99. There is 150 set. Thanks, Christina. Oh, now I'm going to go around wanting 150 set. I don't need 150 set. And then on the next page, and I'm not going to do it. I just wanted you guys to see how I ended up doing the page layouts. These pages will be side by side. And back here, this is the pastel set. Crayola made a pastel set. So that'll go on the back page. Now, the one thing I was kind of hesitant about is, and I don't use them often, and the reason I don't use them often is because they're in a case. And some of them just fell out of the case. But back when Hobby Lobby was having their huge blowout sale, I bought a bunch of these. So that doesn't mean that I shouldn't be using them. I should be using them. Hang on, I'm going to. But these were all. And then after I started thinking about these, I started thinking about my calligraphy pens, because my calligraphy pens I keep in a whole nother place. Oh my God. Dee Dee, you're a knucklehead. Thank you. Oh my God. So these are all my high-end brush pens, which I haven't done yet. And I thought, well, I could do those today. But some of these are just awesome. But everything in here is a brush tip. Everything in that other one, I did do some brush tips in there after I decided, nah, they're all going to go in the writing instruments. But man, I saw products that I haven't seen. Like this is the Pentel. I think they called it a food brush, Fude. This is probably one of the best brush tips ever made. And it's made by Pentel. Pentel makes good products. If you see a Pentel product and you're kind of wondering whether or not you should buy it, you won't be disappointed. Yeah, see, I love the Zigs. And I have a bunch of Zig calligraphy pens as well. So then I got thinking, well, on the calligraphy pages, maybe where I have the margins, and I'll just put this aside, but look at this, the deals I got at Hobby Lobby. This was their Pitt artist pens, and they're India ink. Originally $27 for $7. So that was a really good deal. These were Faber-Castell, again, Pitt artist pens, $22 on sale for $5.50. And then Zig brushables, $22 for $5.50. I think that day I spent like $100, but I got like $400 worth of product. So all these have yet to be done. And my calligraphy markers all have yet to be done. So that writing instrument section is going to grow a lot. a lot. So, but I'm excited because I've still got, crap, my book just fell apart. I've still got, of course, all the alcohol markers, colored pencils, and the one that really is going to be labor intensive, and I won't do it until after the first of the year. But I'm really excited for Christmas to be over so I can work more on this, and Robert can continue to starve. Is the water soluble products. That's going to be a huge section. Huge, I'm telling you, because I have so many, and I'm going to include watercolors in the water soluble, obviously. And which one did I have where? All right, this goes on this side. And then you get into pastels, and there's so many products, you guys. Hi, View. Did I say hi, Christina? I don't remember if I did. Anyway, so that's where I'm at with the swatch book. And if I'd had half a brain, I mean, even half of a brain, I would have waited and done this after Christmas. I wouldn't have started it before Christmas because then I wouldn't be in this, what I'm feeling now is pressure to get stuff done. Tomorrow I'm going to get groceries for Wednesday. And then Thursday I go to my brother's. And that's how I lose pens. All right, I'll find it later. Anyway, so yeah, this is going to end up, and this was my practice pages. And you could see how they were bleeding through. That's why I went ahead and decided to do them on washi, because these were the stamps that I bought. And I was just doing it on 24-pound paper just to see. I did not like the results at all. So I only saved these long enough to show you guys. And now I'm going to throw them away because I don't have, oops, book came apart again. I won't have that problem now doing the washi. You love driving the motorized carts? I have never ever tried one. I probably would too, but I think I would be dangerous on the motorized carts. I would see how many end caps I could hit. What I should do right now is probably get some bigger rings so I don't keep having this problem. You know what I mean? But I'm really glad that I did decide to do this ring system. Ah, come on here now, man. Maybe I bent it. I think maybe I did. How could I have done that? Look, it's not wanting to go together. I'm getting a new ring out. Swatching compulsion. See, Devin, that's the problem. Is I get started on something like this. I'm going to use a bigger ring. And then I want it done. What's that? Hang on. Is that the medium size ring or the small ring? I think I started with the small ring. Hang on. Bear with me a minute. I'm looking here. I think I did bend that ding ring. Yeah, I was using the small rings. I think I'll go to the medium ring and then I can move to the bigger ring if I want to. How about that? All right. Let's see how this one does. And if my frustration level is lessened. But yeah, the next 2 days I'm going to be cooking, shopping and cooking, and then eating. And then I'll get back to my normal goofing around life. And I'll be happy to get back to my normal goofing around life. I wonder if I would have liked better doing this and, oh, it's doing the same thing. There we go. Oh, much better. Much better. Okay, Joan, bye. Go have a great evening. And if I'm sure I won't see you again, so Merry Christmas. I hope you have a great Christmas. I won't see a lot of you before Christmas now. I will be at Dee Dee's Wednesday morning, but I told Dee Dee I probably will have her on the phone and I'll be dragging her around the house with me because I'll have last minute stuff I got to do. And I've got to start getting food and stuff ready because they'll be here Friday or that evening. You guys, there's something wrong with me. I'm convinced of it. But have a Merry, Merry Christmas. I remember when I was a kid, I waited a year for Christmas. Oh my God, I could hardly wait for Christmas. I'm just like now, I'm over it. I'm over it. So, yeah. I'd be glad to get back to normal. This is not working. I don't know. I bet a lot of people will be happy to have a place to go, Dee Dee. So I appreciate that you're going to do it. Yeah. So there, now I've got the bigger rings on. I think I'll be happier with that. And maybe I should have bought the colorful rings. I don't know. But I'm going to be really happy with this, I think. And when I get all the products in there, I think I'm just going to freak out that there's going to be so many. But yeah, that's how it's going to end up looking when it's done. Now, I don't know that I'm going to do the whole book in this size square because I think for watercolors, I don't know how it's going to work out. So I might do a different size or something for the at least the watercolors. I'm thinking. I don't know. We'll see. But it sure has been fun. I like digging out all the products and messing with them, and I know y'all think I'm probably crazy for drawing that out, but it seems to have worked out really well. And I wish Cat and Pace could have seen the swatches. So that's pretty much where I'm at. And other than that, I didn't have anything else to do or talk about. So anything you guys want me to do? Oh, I know what we're going to do for a few minutes here. Put on your thinking caps because I'm going to get the hey, where's Barbara Chicken Pot Pie Society been? I'm going to get out the Scabby Hunt list, and you guys are going to help me with them for just a few minutes. And then I'll go on about my way, and I cannot swatch anymore until after Christmas, okay? My friend Denise made me that. And this is, well, nope, that's not, that was a grocery list. Here's our list so far. So, okay, Cat. Cat's helping out here. Paper airplane. All right, come on. Who designed what for me? She was around last week. Okay, yeah. I know she leaves, but usually she's always at Dee Dee's, not always here, but. All right, you want me to go get one of the lists? Let me go get one of the prior lists. That may be easier said than done, but let's. I remembered after I went in there that I had moved them into their own box in the closet. Okay, here's an old one. This is 2022. Something Willy Wonka. Okay. Okay, the toilet paper cardboard. And we'll put in honor of Denise. I've used that before, actually. I know, Dee Dee. I'm reading backwards. Okay, I got caught up. Zentangle. Or a pattern. Reading. Tissue paper. We're up to 30. Bye, Jamie. Hugs and prayers going out to you, girl. Oh, this year. This is 2022. Scabby. And how would you know that I'd open up a page and it would be snark? This is a purple page, obviously. Oh, really? You know what that sounds like? Not my problem. Textured fabric. Okay. Got it. I think I'm just going to put paste on there too, where you can use texture paste. Well, I can hardly wait to see it, Raul. The purple page was fun. We could do that again. Just pick a color. Let's pick a color. You want to do pink this year? A pink page. Pink is a funny color. This year, I think was, yeah, this was the year that we did games. Tools of the trade. I don't know what. I didn't put, ooh, monochromatic. I think that was monochromatic page, which I think we already have that. Yeah, we do. But this was the monochromatic page. I don't know if that was draw your favorite things or what. I'd have to look at the list. And then a lot of them had to do with games. So this was bingo. And then how do you get 500 cows into a barn? This is so bad, you guys. Neurographic, that's a good idea. I like neurographic art. How about favorite candy and show it drawing or stickers or whatever and the least fave, but you could add ice cream. Okay. Favorite candy. How about I do favorite / least favorite? And you can do one or both, whichever. Something, okay, a recipe. Emboss. Everybody doesn't have embossing though. How about I just put something Alice in Wonderland? Because I do love Alice in Wonderland stuff. Okay, I'll put Alice in Wonderland tea. I wrote down favorite TV series, Raul. See, that's what I'm wondering too, Kat, that embossing might be hard for some people because they don't have the embossing. But I could show them how to emboss by hand. If you've got the dot tools or something, you can emboss. All right, I'm going to put a question mark. If you're going to do simple embossing, you can do it with a, not all of us have TV or go to movies. That's true. But if you have a stencil and one of those little dot tools, you can emboss without an embossing. But I'd show you how to do it. I mean, you could figure it out. But anyway, how do you get 500 cows into a barn? Put a bingo sign on it. 5 food groups. Well, now I am going to go ahead, and I don't think it's on the list yet, but one of the things that I always have you do, yeah, I do have it on here, fruit and veggie stickers. So you could do that. What has 75 balls and keeps ladies smiling? Bingo! I always like random useless fact. So I'll probably include that because that's what this was. A group of cats is called a clouder, and a bezoar is a hairball. Yeah, you can emboss tinfoil too. Yep. This was checkers, and this was also receipt. I had a receipt in the card that the heat had turned it black, and so I turned it into checkers. This was fun because I drew the Monopoly board and a little portfolio of cards in there. That was way fun. I enjoyed that. Yeah, this was games this year because this is categories. We played this on stream categories. I think this was included door. This was a page you had to color. I don't know. Denise won't like. Well, I actually sent her one, which reminds me, Dee Dee, if you're still here, I sent Denise a package of stuff to your house, and I did include one of those coloring book pages. So, I like ink splatter. And see, like in years past, we've used like dryer lint or dryer sheets. Well, people in Europe don't have dryers like we do in the United States. So they were like, what is dryer lint? They didn't even know. So it's like, you don't know? What? You like the door page? Thanks, Terry. Yep, it's got little gnomies in it and a page that I colored. This was a washi tape page. This was a purple page. And I might include Snark. I don't remember what this one was, but it was probably all about coffee because I love me some coffee. Might have been the tissue page too. Bees don't waste time explaining to flies why honey is better than poo. Make a search word. A search word. Oh, like a word search puzzle? I'll write it down. And a money prompt. So normally I always include like use a stencil because that's what this could have been, was use a stencil. I already have napkins. All right, so I'll go ahead and include a stencil because most everybody has that. And if you don't have that, you can certainly cut one very easily. This was art from a fib. Now, birds and bees. I like that. Both of these pages were fib art. I can't remember who sent me this. Dee Dee, you got one too, where you wound that up and then it flew all over the place. Mine ended up in my Scabby book. Do you guys want to do fib art again? Something from the trash. Yeah, that's always a good one too. Okay, I'm writing as fast as I can. Slow stitching. I'm writing them all down. We can weed through them later. Something with 4 legs. Famous landmark. I'm going to put fib art down. And for those of you who maybe don't know fib, that's friends in a box. That means that you have to arrange with another fib to maybe exchange art, ask somebody for art. But I kind of like the idea of encouraging interaction with one another outside of maybe a live stream. A hybrid animal, we've already got that one. Somebody already suggested that. I'm sure I wrote it down. Yeah, I did. This was my own version of Old Maid, which was a game. This was Redrawn Candyland, Taboo. God, I like the game ones. That was fun. Yahtzee. This was Glitter, Teabag, Unused Product. I like Unused Product. And then you have to get out stuff that you Denise has Terry art card already. Okay, yeah, we're gonna do fib art and conspiracies. Yeah, this was Glitter, Teabag, Unused Product, some swatching. I like swatching. I don't know if we have it down yet, but swatching is always, yeah, it was number 2. This is my cup of care. Oh, look, it's empty. Yeah, I will, Devin. Hearts, snark, and string. And I think I've already done snark. It's already on there. I think string or twine is always a good one. So you can figure out how to use something. I don't know what this was. This was, I think, a text change. This is when the girlfriend wrote, "I want to kiss you." And he writes back, "Everywhere?" Mm-hmm. Omaha, Nebraska. Springfield, Ohio. Red Lobster. Stop. Radio Shack. I love this. The dog. Where are you? Where am I? Where are you? I'm at home eating Pop-Tarts. I'm at the park. What are you doing there? Waiting for you to bring back the stick I threw 2 hours ago. Oh, yeah? Totally couldn't find it. Yeah, they are 3D. 3D drawings. Dog writes, "Still hungry." Owner writes, You've had breakfast. Want more breakfast? You'll get fat. What's fat? It's what happens when you eat too much food. Fat sounds awesome. Let's get fat. Dog, this morning I saw a squirrel in the garden. Forget it. He called me a chicken. Forget it. I opened the door and told him to say it to my face. Oh, God. He beat the crap out of me and stole the microwave. We got to do more of this. Look, and I have Kimberly's Christmas card from 2022. I love Kimberly's writing. This, I'm sure, had something to do with circles, where I had to punch out circles. Let's do circles again. Circles is a good one. Googly eyes, googly eyes. I wrote in somebody's chat the other day, who wants to go down to Walmart with me with a big bag of googly eyes? Okay, greeting card. That's always a good one. You can make it or get one from somebody. Oh, that was this one was paint with marbles. Oh my God, I did that on stream. What an epic freaking disaster that was. This was Pictionary. Look I found some Pictionary stuff. Oh, I should look through these. I bet they're fun. This was cordless. Huh. I almost wish I'd kept drawing Pictionary on paper. Limerick. There once was a lad from Nantucket. Silly puns and jokes are fun. I'm good at them. I don't remember what this was. Campbell's tomato seeds. I drew it. I don't remember what. Oh, I know this was marble painting again. I don't know what I was doing. This was okay. Here's the toilet paper thing, Devin. And these are swatches that I put in there. Gouache, colored pencils, Lumiere metallic paints, and then ribbons on all of them. So I did it to hold all my swatch tags. And we did swatches, a leaf. This time of year, good luck with that leaf thing. Man, ours are gone. The wind has been blowing like cray-cray. Okay, this was also the one you had to include a historical article, I think. Postage stamps, I'm going to do that again. So you can start saving those right now. I always save mine. So, not that one. Here's another random useless fact. Oh God, this was so funny. Oh my God, this is Dee Dee. Don't tie your vegetables to your cow. Dee Dee, do you remember saying that? Oh my God, that was so funny. This was a ransom note. I always like the ransom notes. So I'm writing that down. Ransom notes are always good because you get to cut out all the different letters. That was funny as hell, Dee Dee. I save all the stamps Dee Dee sends me on the envelopes. Some are so amazing. I know. No, I have not, Missy. I have ordered it. I've ordered on Amazon UK to have something delivered in the UK. Tea or coffee. That's always a good page. All right, I think I'm caught up. Yeah, I have swatches already. That was like number 2. Hi, Joe Lou. We're thinking up ideas for the scavenger hunt. Bring the iced coffee and no one gets hurt. I don't get iced coffee anymore, but I do get it on Fridays. And that stupid girl on Friday. Well, we actually went on Saturday because of a long thing. But anyway, she told me I couldn't get my cold brew coffee the way I wanted it. And I mean, automatically, imagine you're the girl inside the building waiting for my order. And she said, I'm sorry, we can't put sweet cream in it, but I can serve you some regular cream on the side. And I said, no, 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 no. And then I started laughing because it was just like, I order it every week. I get it every week and I've done it for years. And she's telling me what I can't do. And I was like, no, 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 no. I do it all the time. You go find somebody who's been here for a while. They know. She said, okay, okay. I said, you can charge me extra. I don't care. I did a jigsaw puzzle one year. Here was, I don't remember what the prompt was. Oh, I think this was make a paper doll. And so I did him. I learned later he was a soccer player, apparently. And then I made him some different pants to wear. I didn't make him any shirts, but I did make him some pants. The polka dot ones are funny, aren't they? Burn borders. Oh my God, I'm going to end up hurting people. Oh, you know what? You could create burned edges. You don't have to. Ronaldo, men in thongs. Yeah, I did men in thongs one year too. So this is Ronaldo in pants. Yeah, this was a paper doll. Men in pants, paper dolls. Limited time offer, senior citizen discount. Pants sold separately. Man, I cracked myself up. He was a good paper doll, wasn't he? And he had fun pants. Coming soon, men in thongs. Get it, girl. Ronaldo in his pants. Pants sold separately. Trade with all your church ladies. Collect all the hunks. This was fun. I enjoyed drawing this one and then putting glossy accents on it. Chinese checkers. Okay, this was another one that I've commonly done was fortunes. Fortune cookie. And I like them because you can find some funny stuff. Here, we'll read them. I can't believe you're about to eat my tiny home. And this is also origami, and Chinese checkers was the game. That wasn't chicken. The numbers below are meaningless. Blessed are the children, for they shall inherit the national debt. Isn't that the truth? Shit. Error 404, fortune not found. We don't know the future, but you just got a free cookie. Never have I ever. Okay, this was a game. This was fun. This was way fun. Never have I ever been someone's alibi, donated an organ, lied to a cop, been a best man, gone vegan, campaigned politically, marched in a protest, lied on my resume, been to a strip club. I've never snowboarded, but I have skied. Sent a stranger a drink, gotten busy in a public place, gotten nude in public, spent a night in jail, joined the Mile High Club, worn a wig or extensions, been in a helicopter, donated blood, dropped a baby. I've wanted to drop that baby, but tried a fad diet, cried and flirted to get out of a ticket, had a friend with benefits, sent nudes, received nudes, crashed a party or a wedding, dated a musician, tried moonshine, paid for adult content, scuba dived, Sent nudes, received nudes. I did that twice. I must have really made sure you understood that. Been in a helicopter, eaten an entire pizza, waited tables, met a celebrity, danced on a pole, been cheated on. And these are all different Post-it notes. Post-it notes could be a good one too. I'm going to add Post-it notes. Dee Dee could have a whole book of nothing but Post-it notes. She must use 500 a day. Blank page. This is for you, a card from me. No special occasion. I'll bet you didn't see this coming. Then we had to write a Dear Diary entry. Okay, we had to do a decorated letter. Now, I enjoyed that. Did anybody not? Some I have done twice. Not a game to play with your grown children. Exactly. All right, so yeah, this was a decorated letter, and I did this on stream, and then I screwed up the whole thing. I smushed ink, because you guys have never seen me do that. So here, I wrote a diary entry. Dear diary, this silly wench never listens when I tell her that what she's getting ready to do is a really bad idea. Right now, I'm feeling fully vindicated that what I said would happen actually happened, and trash ensued, because she has overachieving fibs, Peggy and Lena, who listened to her incessant whining and suggested this fulfill the something out of the trash prompt. My level of satisfaction has diminished. But knowing she'll ignore me the next time, I will exercise patience, so my I told you so moment is something I will happily wait to experience. XOXO intuition. A diary entry is not a horrible thing. But yeah, I had been doing this. Yeah. Fibs, demands, and resolutions. I don't know what the prompt was. Dear Fibs, management confirms receipt of your demands of 3/28/22. We take all Fibs' concerns and demands very seriously and have done our best to resolve them to your satisfaction. We openly acknowledge that some members just don't give a damn. I'm a good writer, you guys. Hi, Carrie. Our first demand was Denise streams with Dee Dee at least once a month. A legislative mandate has been issued. Non-compliance will result in arrest and incarceration. The threat of no grilled cheese assures compliance. Games, at least bi-weekly. Compliance is almost a certainty, as one content creator is a notorious lazy wench who consistently takes the path of least resistance. Easy content is certain to be embraced with gusto. Squirrels out of flower pots. Posters have been installed warning all perps that random pots contain exploding cat dookie. Did I write that? Exploding cat dookie. And to proceed at their own risk. BBs in their ass was also threatened. Should solve it. Occasional rat appearances. Much to management's dismay, despite discussed regulations, disruptive appearances by the rat are inevitable. It is obvious that his handler is completely inept, not unlike the majority of the world's population. Good times. Exploding cat dookie. Oh, what the? A unanimous consensus is that this was adequately handled in demand number 3 response. Contact Uncle Dan. Okay, Dan was behind it. To procure the finest exploding cat dookie in the Fib community. Holy crap, this is weird, but in all fairness, I asked. Cranberries, probably the most debated topic, but we are committed to the promotion of cranberries. Endless cranberries to rival the Olive Garden's endless breadsticks. While cranberries have historically been a Thanksgiving delicacy, we will begin a wall-to-wall campaign to normalize daily consumption of cranberries. We will include New Year's Eve spontaneous outbursts of cheese. My God, was I high? Yeah, I'm asking for ideas. We have cranberries. Where's cat and paste? JMY streams Monday and Wednesday. We kind of apologize to report that our staff has been unable to contact this slacker to determine schedule realignment. No further action is expected. Chocolate. We have determined that chocolate is a good thing and should be consumed in bulk regularly. Gummy bears should also be included when purchasing in bulk. Psycho music whenever a ruler appears. Why psycho? We have determined that a choir of angels would be more appropriate for the emergence of rulers in any situation. An angel recruitment committee has been established, and we are not embarrassed to admit that we are very excited about this demand resolution. Cheese! Someone to clean so fibs can art. A universal resolution could not be established. The best idea we came up with is to just blow it off. Seriously, when you die, your survivors should earn that inheritance cleaning up your filth. Cleaning up your filth is the least they can do. Happy arting. Alternate resolution. Fibs sing in unison. Here's a little song I wrote. You might want to sing it note for note. Don't worry. Be happy. That's funny. Holy crap. That was funny. This was my clue page, and I did watercolored found relatives for that. Now my sister and me. This was, I'll have to repair that. This was a map of your childhood. And this was me and my sister in my backyard. She was older, and I'm the little one. That's me in kindergarten. That's my dog, Inky. And his brother's name was Fred, and the lady that lived catty corner had Fred. And this was Inky. Inky used to go riding with my, on my mini bike. And this is me hiding underneath the desk reading a book. And then these, like, our church is on here. Where's number 1? Well, I know where the church was. That's Colfax. The church would have been up here. Our doctor was right there. Yeah, there's the Lutheran church. There's my dentist. There was our favorite pizza. That was a bowling alley. 5 is the theater. This was the Lady of Fatima Church. This is where I went to elementary school. All the way down there is a swimming pool. My doctor was just one street down that way. There's McDonald's. There's A&W Root Beer. And there's where I went to high school. That's funny. I like that. I'm glad I came across that. That's very cool. And then this was just some random Mary Engelbright stuff. All right, we looked through it. Did we get any? Okay, and this is a list of people who completed it. All right, where's the list? What did I do with the list? Oh, I took it out. All right, let's go over this real quick. Canceled postage, which I think I have postage on there. Playing cards. We could always do playing card. That's not a bad one. We haven't done that for a few years. I already have an idea if I include playing cards. A Dear Diary entry, an unused product, pattern paper. Pattern paper is also another one that can always be used. A clue item, had to create an ad, use makeup, a book page. Book page is always a good one too. Because you can use the book page and then put, yeah, I just thought that. I just wrote it down, Terry. Book page is good because then you can just do candy on top of book page or something. Paint or ink splatter. Did I do the ink splatter? Sometimes I get stuff on here 2 times. But I like ink splatter. Draw an art supply, tissue paper. I'm reading these off upside down page. That's always a good one too. Create an ad. Hope I can find another picture of Ronaldo. Tails, fangs, or fur? Tails, fangs, or fur? Funny text message, paper doll, pet, acrylic skin, a coffee filter, Pictionary, menu, puzzle, greeting card, add a pocket. Add a pocket is always a good one. Used foil, a feather, a tea bag, a gnome, Yahtzee, a button. Button is always good too. Because it's something you have to find and it should be in your house, right? Or you have to cut up. Comic character. I'll write it down. I did write down upside down page, Terry. A postcard. Postcard might not be too bad either. Did I write down fib art? I kind of like, oh, I did write it down. Yeah, because I kind of like fib art to encourage you guys to swap out. Something out of the trash, an illuminated letter, vegetable stickers, washi tape. I have not put washi tape on here. Bingo, a page of stripes, a paper clip. I like rag flag too. So you end up with something hanging off your journal. It makes it more festive, see? When you have stuff hanging off. Page of shapes. I think I did circles already. Twine, ribbon, string. I think we did that. Use a door. That's what that door was. Fingerprints, sprays. I'm not going to do that because not everybody has sprays and they're not near as popular as they used to be. Illustrate a quote. I really like that one. And I don't want all of them really easy. I want some of them where you have to really put some thought and effort into so that if you end up winning, you actually freaking earned it. Stickers. I like stickers. We can do stickers. Denise will like stickers. Childhood tag, soup label, marble painting, a used envelope, add a charm, categories, cartoon character. We already have, I just put that on. A rainbow, fib art, use a ruler, which I'm going to include again because I have a good idea for that. Hidden paper clip. Okay. A historic article, origami, post-it notes, Chinese checkers, fortune cookies, fortune, useless random facts. I like useless random facts because if nothing else, you get to laugh a lot because there's some crazy, random, useless facts. You want rainbow? A Monopoly item, a phone book page. A phone book page would be hard to get these days. A purple page, a page of cats, a ransom note, fabric or fiber, which we've already included some way. Your choice. Okay, let's do a your choice page. Because that means you have to think up your own self. A napkin. Any animal eating candy. What was that other one? Lyrics from a song. And on this page, I actually have a theme for 2027. A matchbook, A stencil, we already got that. Candyland, an old photo. Calligraphy, something snarky. Snack packaging, which is going to be everything in the book this year. Gift wrap, toilet paper roll, doodles and Zentangle, a map page, monochromatic. We already got that one in there. A tip-in, we'll do that because tip-ins are always good. Let's go ahead and include watercolor, because even if you don't have watercolors, you can use your markers. City or country to sorry. Okay, I wrote that down. Sparkles and glitter, probably don't include that. Sorry, game. Page of hearts, repetitive pattern, demand notice, never have I ever, coffee ring or stain, we already got that, dominoes, grocery receipt, and checkers. Okay, so that was the list from 2022. And we have several duplicates, so that's cool. And right now, if I include everything you guys have given me, I'm at about 80, 82. Mocking Artie, your favorite art. All right, let's do famous artist inspired art. Okay, I like that because then you'll have to look up an artist and you'll have to try and do that. What did he say? Oh, answer to a trivia question. That actually is good without knowing what the question was. Good idea. Did I do the ransom note? I don't remember if I did or not. Well, I might have written it down twice. What the hell? All right. So you guys got anything else? A secret message. Yeah, that's always fun. Or a hidden message. I'm going to put secret message, but I can't believe I had these stuck in the Scabby book. Ribs. Snowman, that was an easy one. I bet somebody got that quick. What's the first thing you see in your freezer? Ice cream, actually. All right, let's do something from your freezer. Don't use an ice cube. Most wanted ad. Most wanted poster. I like that. Wet your page with water and destroy the art piece you most loved. And no, Raul, are you crazy? Make whoever a criminal. Yeah, that's a good idea. All right, you guys, it's getting 2:30. I'm about ready to call it a day. We can, I think we'll have one more, one more brain session before we actually have to do it. I don't think I've said use a rubber stamp, but I think most everybody has rubber stamps. Might use your favorite or unused, because everybody has unused rubber stamps that they don't have. Now, Denise doesn't probably have a rubber stamp, so she'll have to borrow one from her mother. Poke a hole through your art. in honor of Dee Dee. All right. If you guys think of anything else throughout your journals over the holiday, you can always send me an IG message and I will do my best to get it written down. And we'll have probably at least one more week before the Streamathon. And again, thank Raul for organizing it and plan on attending. So sorry I didn't get actually anything created today other than a page in my new swatch book, which I'm very, very excited about. It's all going to look the same. You guys know that, right? I won't force it on you all the time. I probably will, but you'll get over it. All right, you guys. Well, a lot of you I may not see, so Merry Christmas. I'll see anybody else at Dee Dee's on Wednesday. Don't get stressed over the holidays, you guys. It's just another day, but do remember to celebrate Christ's birth. That's what it's all about. So, all right, you guys. I'm out of here. Wish me the best. All right, I'm out of here. Love you guys. I really appreciate the time you spend with me. All right, go do something fun. Love you. See you. Bye.